Well, the ride-hailing service Uber is in the market for a new leader after the company's CEO, the co-founder Travis Kalanick, was forced to step down. Kalanick had announced that he was taking an indefinite leave following his mother's death and a series of scandals, including some costly legal battles and a report revealing a pattern of workplace sexual harassment. CNET senior editor Dan Ackerman joins us now with more on the shakeup. Okay, Dan, just last week he announced that he was taking a leave of absence. What's behind the change now that's caused him to actually step down as CEO?
You know, there's just been this constant drumbeat of negative attention. There was the Eric Holder report that talked about all the problems they had in the corporate culture. Just the other week, one of the board members had to step down after making a sexist comment. And of course, all this leads straight up to the top. Eventually, some investors got together and said, they presented Travis Kalanick with an ultimatum. They said, you have to leave in order for this company to move forward. And he had all these threads coming together. And this is really, really where it hit the top.
So Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg is rumored to be tapped as one of the potential replacements. What do you think? Why do you think she is possibly one of the potential candidates here?
I mean, she's always at the top of everybody's list when there's a high-profile CEO job open in tech. She's got a great reputation. She's really behind a lot of Facebook's success. So people always look to her first, although she seems to be saying that she's happy where she is and is not looking to move.
And who else is on that short list?
You know, people always look at Susan Wojcicki from YouTube, where she's the CEO. She's also another one of those people that's always on the short list for high-profile jobs. It's interesting. I've seen people talk about a few auto company guys like Mark Fields and Alan Mulally, who were both CEOs of Ford at some point. And if you think about it, those are not technically tech companies, but it makes sense because this is a car-oriented company that wants to get into things like self-driving cars, which really bring automotive and tech together.
So he's going to still remain on Uber's board of directors. Will he have input in selecting the replacement? What will his role be going forward?
You know, it remains to be seen what his role is going to be going forward. Judging from what happened when he initially took that leave of absence, he still remained, very involved. And I think you're going to continue to see that. He's a full member of the board, and because of the shares that he owns, he has a very outsized voting rights. So he definitely has a say in what happens going forward.
So Uber's been struggling, we know, for months dealing with the scandals. And Tuesday, Uber announced that it was going to make changes to improve the driver experience. What does Uber need to do at this point to really rebuild their reputation?
I mean, when you have a company that has a big reputation problem, resetting at the top, getting a new CEO does buy you some breathing room. But in addition to mollifying investors and the public, they do also need to work with drivers. They've been alienating the very drivers who form the backbone of the company. There was a case where Kalanick was caught on video arguing with one of his own drivers, and that didn't look good. They're making some steps there. They're adding tipping to the Uber app, which is something that drivers and even a lot of riders have been looking for a long time.
All right, Dan, I'm hoping they'll get rid of the surge pricing, too. I just walk or take the subway when I get that surge pricing increase during rush hour.
That's right. That's right. Just take the train.
Well, take the train. Dan Ackerman, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you.